A different video for you this week because it has rained so much I haven't been able to film any of the jobs I've been doing, so I'm just going to give you a very quick tour. But before I do that, I've got one job to do in the shed, so let's start that. It's to mark and label all the eggs I collected a minute ago. So this is the bucket I take each morning. Each eggs come out of there. Each group of hens has their own cup. So the orange one are the pink one even is for the Rhode Island Reds. That's for the light Sussex and Rhode Island Red mix, and that is for the Australorp smaller cup because there are only 4 birds in that flock. And then what I do, because I'm getting ready to hatch, so it's important I know whose eggs are whose, and it's important I'm gentle with them. So this is the Australorp egg, so AU, it's written on there. And then I set it down in my box of hay or straw. These are the light Sussex hens, so they get an LS for light Sussex written on those. Again, it's being very gentle not to drop or shake the eggs. Now the Rhode Island Reds have an RIR on them. Rhode Island Red. I say it's hatching season soon, so I am collecting the eggs ready to hatch. Right, they're all marked. Okay, I will show you the eggs in the box. So those are there. I'm not actually going to hatch these Rhode Island Reds, so I'm going to pop those eggs over there. Those ones are for eating, but I am getting in the habit of labelling them. These will go in an egg box and I will take them home. Now, I'm laying them like this. You can store them pointy end down, but you never store them pointy end up because there's an air space, and if you store them pointy end up, the air space at this end gets compromised and then the egg won't hatch. Okay, and those will be moved, rocked gently every 12 hours. So every 12 hours I will turn them so the writing's down, which is the other handy thing, and then I will turn them back again 12 hours later. They can keep like this for up to 28 days, but the quicker you use them, the better hatch rate you get. And I like to have my eggs hatching eggs within a week of putting them in the incubator. All right, I think we'll go for a little tour around the farm now, so you can see some of the things I've been up to. Oh, just before we leave, these are my sweet peas. Some of them are peatgrass pea seeds. Some of them are from Breacord, my friends Vicky and Barney. These are some of the plants from Jurassic Plant Nurseries, which will be going into the perennial garden soon. I apologise, I can't do anything about the wind. I might have to voice over when I get home. I have in fact had to voice over at home because of the sound of the wind. But here we are looking at my Rhode Island Red flock. They have their house, and then around the corner here they also have a rain shelter, so some underground space. That is Rooster Gooster. He is from the farm next door, so he's unrelated to the girls there. The rain shelter there is fixed in with this handy post so it doesn't blow around in the wind. And I also have put in a bit of a windbreak here so that the wind doesn't blow through and ruffle their feathers. They've got somewhere indoors and outdoors where they can spend their time in storms. Let's have a look next door at the other group of chickens I have in this run. Now these guys, these roosters are related. They are the brothers of the girls next door. And they are Rhode Island Reds, and they have light Sussex hens with them. So this will be a hybrid group when they have baby chicks. And again, they have their underground covered area, and they also have their house that they can go in if they want to. The last group of birds I have are the Australorp, and they are down in the perennial garden. Now on the way, this is going to be my annual vegetable bed, and I will bring Kevin Neighbour up to dig that over
but I'm waiting for the ground to dry out. I'm climbing over the fence, and I may or may not have fallen over here. Um, I'm not going to tell you. You have to make your own mind up there. In this next enclosure, I have my australorps. They are in here, and I have thick wood chip down to keep them nice and dry, but they have dug a muddy puddle just there. There's Earl. He has 3 hens with him, and this is their nesting box. So I've used that. I have a mushroom crate, and I've put these sticks in here, screwed them in so that it doesn't slide around. I can still lift the mushroom crate out to clean it, and that nesting box is adequate for the 3 hens. Now, all my chicken coops I build have an open bottom. This one I've used branches as roosts, and then when they go to the toilet, it drops out the bottom, and I have no chicken coop cleaning to do. Does need a front to go on. It doesn't matter particularly at the moment because we have such warm weather at the moment. It's snowing everywhere else in England, or supposed to be, and we're a balmy 8 degrees. So this is something that I can add over the next week or so, and it won't matter too terribly. In the permaculture orchard that we are in now, I have had difficulty with pheasant from over the way. Whenever there's a shoot, we get hundreds of pheasants descend upon the farm, and they've been scratching through here, and the pathways have been muddled up with the beds, and the beds muddled up with the pathways. So I have edged it with this willow. Now, some of those stakes are made of the branches from old Christmas trees, but some of it is willow. And the sticks I have used that are willow have been brought home, and I've charred those in the fire at home so that when I put them in the ground, they won't grow into new willow trees, which would be very helpful. And it's just given some nice definition to the beds, and I quite like the look. Some of the new fruit trees have been staked because they keep falling over in the wind, but those that haven't, I have left without stakes, like this one. The wind will actually make their trunk stronger if you don't have to tie them up. Now, my self-sufficiency challenge is starting in about 10 days' time, and I have in here leeks still standing, which will be very useful, and there are some other bits and pieces in the perennial garden that will be helpful, like this garlic cress. Not ready yet, but this is my goji berry, and it is beginning to put leaf on. So spring is around the corner. This is lemon balm, so I'm hoping that I will get some lemon balm tea. If I tidy this up, that new growth should be really nice. And my garlic's coming along nicely too. There are some gaps where the pheasants have pulled the odd bit out, but it's not doing too badly, and I'm quite pleased with the results. I've headed right over to the other side of the farm here, and we're having a look at the hedgerow that I've been maintaining. Now, the overhead cables run here. I have spoken about this before, and I'm trimming the hedgerow underneath it. I plan to do this every few years, just so that the trees underneath and the hedgerow underneath doesn't get too overgrown and interfere with those power cables. Now, I've cut this down all by hand, either with a saw or with the loppers, and it so far has taken me 2 days, and I'm just over halfway through. There are still some branches that I haven't, but this does not look, it looks like sticks and things, but honestly, these branches are quite considerably large. That bit I trimmed off there was well above my head height. It's full reach for me to get to that. And this is just some of the material left over. I've used most of it to make hedgerows and willow edges to beds and things. So this is just leftover trimmings. You can see there's quite a substantial amount. And these branches, each of these branches is as tall as I am, and a good few inches thick. It doesn't show up on the camera just how big that is, and they're quite heavy. And then that growth was on the top that I've trimmed off. Each of those branches is more than twice my height, and working with that in the wind has been quite a challenge, and the rain, it's been hard work. You can see the buds and the new growth on this, and I've been using that material, utilising it to push into the soil to make new goat willow hedges and windbreaks, and just increase the amount of goat willow I have on the farm. I wanted to show you this bit because we're looking at the diversity in the hedgerow. Even though there's not a lot growing, here there is a rich tapestry of all sorts of little wild plants with the nettles, ivy, there's hart's tongue fern, there are some plants, I don't even know what they are in there. It's really rich and diverse. There is moss growing all over these trees and different types of lichen, which I'll focus in a minute. There it is. I just find it really interesting and fascinating the amount of different species that pile into a really small space here. Now, the next bit I'm going to show you, I've left the sound on even though it's wind because it's a very quick look at Kevin and Ava. And I know you all adore Kevin and Ava and you want to hear them oinking and squeaking happily. So even though there is a lot of wind, I've left the sound on for that bit. And I hope you can tolerate it.
Hello, Kevin. He wasn't interested in breakfast this morning. It's so cold and horrible. Hello, Ava. Hello, baby. Hello. Even they have had enough of the mud and the wet. I know you're beautiful. Don't touch the wires. You'll get zapped. Kevin, when I was working in the hedgerow the other day, he was so cross. First of all, he kept trying to escape and getting zapped. And then he went into the ark and cried. And then he came out and stood by the edge and watched and barked at me. He was being a complete diva. We are just about maintaining this area dry enough to stand on and not sink. And we are, oh hello baby, and we are maintaining it cosy and warm and full of straw and bedding in the ark for them. We are able to do that. Everywhere else is so wet and I have moved them in every direction. You can see this is an absolute swamp. I gave them a strip to walk up the side there, which has turned into a swamp, and some land at the top. Tomorrow I shall move them across to this bit. I've extended the area, it's much bigger, so that they can reach beyond the mud, and I can take them all the way around there back to the hedgerow in sections. But it really is a boggy swamp, and then I'm going to have to re-sow all of this. Oh, Ava darling, they're very clean, even though it's disgusting and they hate it. She is going out there, bless her, because she needs the toilet and she won't go in her living area. They're very clean. They will always find a space away from the house and the living and the food to go to the toilet, bless her. Oh, hello Kevin, hello baby boy, hello. Hello. I know, please don't eat my gloves. If I touch my gloves in my wellies like this. Oi! I know you want some love. He's actually pushing so hard against me. He's in danger of pushing me over. It's a bit precarious here. I've got to move because I'm between him and the ark. There we go. Oh, I was wedged in that little corner there. He could have pushed me up against the ark and I would have got very bruised. Oh yeah. You just want some love, don't you, Kevin? You just want some love. That's what he loves. He loves a really good back scratch. You love it. I know you love me too. You love me too.
That is all for this week, so I will see you again next time. Thank you for tuning in, and if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you. Bye.